Hey, hi. My name's Mark. Today, I was looking through my old entries in my diary on my computer, and they wrote some deep stuff, but I decided to start making a video one instead. And this one is dedicated to the guys. Guys don't get noticed very much. Nobody thinks guys cut. Nobody thinks guys are suicidal. Everybody assumes, oh, hey, look, he plays football. He's fine. But no, he's not. He's not. Inside, he was actually dying. Inside, he just wanted somebody to save him. Inside, he was crying. From the outside, it looked like he was so happy. He fooled everyone to make them think that he was the happiest boy in the world. But he wasn't. He was as low as his self-esteem was as low as it would go. And his mind wasn't in Wonderland. It was in hell. He was drowning inside. I'm going to use a quote. What's drowning like? Yeah. But here's a quote. What's suicide like? He asked. It's like drowning, he whispered. But only everyone else around you is breathing. I love that quote because it is so true. Because no matter how loud you're screaming, nobody can hear you. You're yelling at the top of your lungs. You just want somebody to look at you and tell you, you're an amazing, wonderful person. You belong here. Or somebody ask, may I kiss your cuts? Or may I spend the day with you? Just somebody to ask you how you're doing, and for you to be able to tell them how you're actually doing. Everyone says, I'm fine, or I'm okay. Don't believe them, because they're not. They just want somebody to care and to know how they feel. They just want somebody to understand what they're going through. And people say that they understand, they don't, because no pain is alike. It just ticks me off when people say that, because not one person has the same emotions here. Unless it's love. Love can be the strongest emotion. At the same time, it can be the one emotion that kills people. Do you know on Valentine's Day people commit suicide? They do. But I made this story up on my computer about a guy who was really, really depressed and nobody noticed it. And so one day he took his life. And I memorized it. It goes like this. One day, there was a boy named Brendan. He was 14 years old. Just beginning his journey towards life and success. But he wasn't ready for that. No, he wasn't. He always looked down at himself. Always criticized himself and how stupid and worthless he was. And society agreed with him. He played sports to get out his anger, and he played his instruments to tell his pain. But nobody ever grasped that he was dying inside. Nobody ever grasped that feeling. That maybe that guy at school that you guys all call hideous and ugly, maybe that guy wanted some help. Maybe he needed it. One day he was so fed up with all the lies and the bullshit that people were telling him. All the names and the things that were told on about him. So he went to his room and he locked himself in there. And he started typing up how lost he felt, how empty he felt. He said to his friend, well, his used to be friend, I'm locked inside of myself. I think I want to die, but in actuality I want to be saved. I think I want to one day just become the wind that blows through on a summer's eve, or maybe just go away. be forgotten for a while. And see if anyone ever cared, or anyone ever noticed. I want to be able to look at the sky and open my arms up and greet it. I want to be able to smile and make it feel real. I want to be able to cry over something good. I want to be able to hug somebody without it hurting. I want to be able to laugh without tears trying to come through. I want to be able to pet a cat or a dog and be able to smile because I'm so happy. And I want to be able to tell people, my mom, my sister, my brother, I love them without a feeling that's holding me back as I say it. I want to be able to roam free and not be judged on who I am. But, of course, that's never going to happen because this is America. This is where we get judged on our personality, on who we are, on our clothes and our skin and our race, on how we dress, in what we are. What are we? Preps? Monsters? The emo faggots down the corner? The kids who get shoved in lockers? The ones who get their binders dropped on the floor? The ones who get laughed at lunchtime because they can't find a table? Or are we just those gross people who sit around and do nothing? Could I possibly be one of those people who stand by and watch life pass, missing every opportunity I get? No matter how many times I cast the hook out to the ocean, I never reel in anything. Is it because I'm not good enough? Is it because I'm not trying hard enough? Can't you see I'm trying hard enough? I break down every day. On the inside, I feel like I'm torn in two between life and death. Honestly, I want to die, but I don't want to commit suicide. But at this point, do I have a choice? Can I really choose life over death? When death wants me so bad and life is just letting me slip through his fingertips? Should I give in? Should I? And he sent it. A day later, his friend didn't respond. The next day, at school, his friend came up to him and said, "What's wrong with you? What the hell did all that shit come from anyway? Who got on your computer? Did somebody hack you? Or is that really you? Because if it was, that was the stupidest bullshit I've ever heard in my life. Who the hell are you now? Are you those emo faggots on the corner? No emo faggot?" And then he pushed him. And then people gathered around in a circle and started chanting, "Kick his ass! Go, you got this, Marty! You can do it! Kick Brendan's ass!" Brendan didn't care. Brendan knew what Brendan did. He rolled up his sleeves, rolled up his pants legs, rolled up his shirt, showed the whole world his scars, his battle wounds, how he'd survived another day. But today, he wasn't going to survive. Everybody stopped chanting and looked, made disgusting faces at him, and they left. His friend Marty just dropped his mouth and spit on him and left. He was now officially worthless. He went home, torn up inside and beaten, and just went to his room, locked himself in there, took a gun before he went to his room from his dad's safe, loaded it, and sat down in his bed. He began writing a note. "Dear Mom, dear Dad, I know I'm not the kid you always wanted. I know I never will be. And I know I'm never good enough for you guys. And I know I can never ever get to that point. And I know I'll never be good enough. I can feel it. I'm sorry. I don't know why, but I'm just so sorry. To my brother and sister, thanks for not caring." Took the gun, put it in his mouth, closed his eyes, and he shot himself. Silence spilled over the room. Nothing. Parents come home. They're banging on the door. He doesn't answer. His dad breaks down the door and stops in his footsteps, looking down at the note on the floor. He begins reading it and falls to his knees crying. His dad never cried in his life. Your mom, his mom, can do nothing but stare at her little baby boy, dead on his bed. Blood spewed on the wall. She crawls on the bed and lays next to her little boy. She holds her 14-year-old son in her arms like she hasn't done in 2 years. She felt she hadn't been doing her job as a mom to protect her son from the world. She wanted to go back in time and do this with him, to hold him and love him. She touched his wounds, and then she just hugged him. She set her baby up in her lap and cradled him in her arms. She took the gun and threw it at the wall, upset with herself, making a hole. She rocked back and forth with him. Not crying, not blinking, just staring into space, holding her baby boy. The cops had to practically pry him from her arms, taking him and putting inside a body bag. His dad still crying on the floor, barely able to talk. He couldn't fight. He couldn't beat it. He lost the war against himself. Even though he's free of the pain, his freedom costed everyone else their happiness. And they'll never get it back. Never. Everyone, Marty, yeah, that guy, he cuts himself every day because he knows this was all his fault. He has to go to counseling. And he's on the verge of being put to a mental institute. All those people who are around you, yeah, they're suicidal now. And nothing's gonna be able to help them now. Because you, him, you guys are gone. There's no going back. You're over. You're done. I just want to just kiss it goodbye while you can.